Welcome to the Vue Menu Bar tutorial. Using the Syncfusion Vue Menu Bar, you can create a horizontal bar with clickable options, typically located at the top of a web page or application. You can easily navigate between different sections or pages, providing quick access to various functionalities or areas of your application. In this video, I will show you how to create a Vue app and add the Syncfusion Vue Menu Bar component to it. I will also show you a few of its features, such as how to bind different types of data, change orientation, and add animation. Before proceeding, make sure you have installed the latest versions of Vue and Node.js. I will use Visual Studio Code as my editor and show the output in the Chrome browser. To create a project in Vue, open Visual Studio Code and type the command npm create vite@latest. I set my app name as my Vue app. Next, choose Vue as the framework and JavaScript as the variant. A Vue project is created. I navigate to the newly created Vue app and install the required dependencies using the command npm install. Now the application is configured with the default settings of a Vue project. To use the menu bar component, I type the command npm install at Syncfusion /ej2 Vue navigations -- save to install the navigations package with its dependencies. Next, I must register the trial license key to use Syncfusion components. I open the main.js file and import the register license method from the Syncfusion ej2 base package. Using this method, I register the trial license key. For instructions on generating a trial key, refer to the link in this video's description. To add the menu bar component, I open the app Vue file and remove the default code. Next, import the menu component from the Syncfusion Vue navigations package. Add a division element with style attribute to align the element. Then, include EJS menu tag. The menu will not be visible until menu items are added to it. To add menu items, a data source needs to be bound. The menu bar supports 3 types of data: hierarchical, complex, and self-referential. Now I will show the steps to bind hierarchical data to a menu. First, create an array named menu data. Then, assign an array of objects with text and items fields to specify the caption of the menu item and sub-items. Next, I assign this menu data to the items property. To add CSS references for the menu bar, in the style tag, import the material theme CSS reference. Let me run this example using the command npm run dev. You can see the menu bar displaying the menu items. When I hover over the file, the respective sub-items are displayed in the menu pop-up. Next, I will show you how to add icons as a prefix to the menu items using the icon CSS property. To do this, modify the existing data source by adding one more field, icon CSS, with appropriate built-in icon CSS classes. Here, I have set the icon class for File, Open, Save, and more in the menu bar. The menu bar items are currently displayed continuously. To separate these items, set the separator field to true. Next, to add icons, in the style tag, define a font face with a specific source path, and name its font family to access the required font icons at the application level. Then, for this classy menu icons, I set the defined font family and set the appropriate content values to access the needed font icon. Icons are displayed for the specified menu items, and a separator is shown after the first 2 items. Now I will show you how to bind a complex data source by mapping fields using the fields property. Here I am going to show the continents and their countries with language details in the submenu. To achieve this, I create an array called complex data and assign an array of objects with continent field. Then, to show countries as subitems, add the countries field as subitem to the continent with appropriate country names. Next, to display the languages as a subitem to the countries, define one more subarray called languages and add respective languages. This data structure is called multilevel nesting. Next, I need to map the data fields. So I declare a variable called menu item fields. Within this variable, declare the text field and assign continent, country, and language. Additionally, I declare children field with countries and languages. Next, I assign these variables to the items and fields properties of the menu bar. When I hover over the continent menu, a pop-up will display the countries of the continent. Similarly, when I hover over India, a pop-up will appear with Hindi, Tamil, and Telugu. Next, I will show you how to bind self-referential data source to the menu bar component. Before that, let's have a look at the self-referential example first to understand its structure. In addition to the usual ID and text fields, you will see objects with one more field, parent ID. This field maps the appropriate parent node's ID to its child node. Notice here, these three objects have an additional field parent ID with the value parent1, which indicates that they render as child nodes of parent1. Now I am going to populate the menu items using the self-referential data structure that contains a parent ID mapping field. Define an array called menu data source, and assign an array of objects with fields such as ID, text, and parent ID with appropriate values. To display kitchen items as a subitem for appliances, I have set the kitchen parent ID as parent1. Similarly, I have appended the parent-child relationship for other items. Once the data source definition is completed, it is necessary to map the data source fields. So, within this menu data fields object, comment out the existing mapping fields and map the field's ID to the item ID, text to text, and parent ID to parent ID. Then I assign this menu data source to the item's property by replacing the existing value. Ensure that the menu data fields are assigned to the fields property of the menu bar. Look here, when I hover over Appliances menu, a pop-up with sub-items is displayed. Furthermore, when I hover over the kitchen item, its sub-item is shown. Next, I will demonstrate how to change the orientation of the menu bar using the orientation property. Set the orientation property to vertical to align menu items vertically. See, the menu items are vertically aligned. Finally, I will show you how to animate menu items. Let me define the object named Animation Settings. Within this, I set the effect property to zoom in and duration to 800 to apply animation effect to menu items. Apart from this animation effect, it also supports 3 more effects like fade in, slide down, and none. Next, I assign this object to the Animation Settings property. Look here, when I hover this menu, the zoom in effect is applied and shows animation for 800 seconds. Let's summarize this video. I have shown you how to add the Syncfusion Vue Menu Bar component to a Vue app. I have also shown you how to bind hierarchical, complex, and self-referential data sources, change the orientation, and apply animation to menu items. If you want to try out the example used in this video, download it from that GitHub link in this video's description. I have also shared a link in the description to learn about obtaining a free license key to use our Vue components through our community license if you are eligible. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please like and subscribe to our channel.